isolated in nature. Later tonight, leftover clouds and kind of muggy. The overnight low drops to 72. Tomorrow won't be quite as warm nor as humid, with a mix of clouds and sunshine. A spotty shower with thunderstorm mainly south and west of the city, and primarily later in the day, the high 83. Rain-free weather for Sunday. More sun than cloud, less humid, about 83. Beautiful day on Monday with sunshine, the high 86. But get ready for some more heat middle of next week. Sunny skies, 76 degrees in Central Park. Humidity at 79%. The wind west-northwest at 8. Repeating the current temperature, 76. We're headed to 87 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg in New York's weather station. 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Kristen Cavallari isn't raising entitled kids, even if they have to sit and coach while she flies first class. Laguna Beach star was on the Emma Gurdy podcast recently. She says she's raising her 3 kids to understand the value of money. One way.
You know, something as small as they fly coach, I'm flying in first class. That was important to me when they became old enough that they could.
It's so difficult to do that, isn't it?
No, it's not when they're older.
No?
Well, bye. Bye, guys. Have fun back there.
Cavallari's comments come just weeks after Jessica Simpson drew fire when her ex revealed that she flew first class while her kids sit in economy. Cavallari also says the kids, aged 10 to 13, have to work for it.
Last summer, both of my boys created their own little businesses. So one of my boys was washing people's windows, and the other one was washing people's garbage cans, because if they want something, they gotta go work for it, and they gotta make it happen.
Cavallari says she wants her kids to know this is my money, not your money. Well, there's nothing new about wine moms, but now cannabis moms are a hot new thing. Some experts aren't too sure about that. ABC News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Narula and the Garden Mom.
We're using this as a tool.
Texas mom of 2 and content creator Rachel Gibbs says cannabis doesn't check her out of motherhood, but rather helps her to check in and quiet the static in her head. And she says its impact on parenting her 3 and 5-year-old kids has been tremendous.
I can get down on their level. I have more patience. It's calmed the nerves down.
Videos tagged by so-called canna moms or garden moms have racked up millions of views across social media. Addiction specialists suggest it shouldn't be thought of as a harmless alternative to alcohol.
And Narula says so far there's no proven benefit for cannabis with anxiety or PTSD or other issues. It's business class without the business class perks. Delta is introducing a new classic ticket, and travel experts are reacting. John Kennedy is a senior aviation reporter at The Points Guy.
Travelers that have elite status that are eligible for these complimentary upgrades, that was already really difficult. Delta has basically acknowledged that over the last 10 years, the number of complimentary upgrades that they're giving to travelers has shrunk and shrunk and shrunk because so many travelers are already willing to buy these seats.
Of course, the new fares come amid a travel season this summer that is beset by concerns about rising fuel prices, although travel numbers are pretty strong so far. Major media organizations stepping up their dispute with OpenAI.
The New York Times, the Daily News, and other media outlets are asking a federal judge to impose sanctions on OpenAI, escalating a legal fight over copyright that could shape the future of the struggling news industry. The newspapers allege the ChatGPT maker is hiding evidence important to what could be a landmark copyright infringement trial over how OpenAI and its business partner Microsoft built their AI technologies using millions of news articles. At issue is whether AI chatbots are unfairly competing as an information source, siphoning off web traffic without doing the journalistic work it took to gather the news. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Congress is getting into the way at WNBA team treat star Caitlin Clark. In a letter to the league's commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, the chair of the House Republican Study Committee, wants more accountability for what they called repeated physical violence against Clark. The Republicans suggest she's facing a hostile work environment that could call for investigations by the Department of Justice or other federal agencies. The word comes as Clark fans are fuming again after the refs did not call a foul on a Phoenix Mercury star who made contact with Clark's throat last month. Well, remembering a space pioneer, Wally Funk passed away earlier this week. She was the youngest of the Mercury 13. She was never allowed into space during her training, but she got there.
I never had any bad feelings. I knew I was going.
In 2021,
we're flying up into space.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos surprising the then 82-year-old with a seat on the maiden crewed flight of his Blue Origin rocket. At 82, she became the oldest woman ever to reach space.
It
was great. Funk's advice for every dreamer coming up behind her.
The only thing a woman needs to compete in a man's world is ability. Go for everything you can. Higher, faster, longer.
She was 87.
Correspondent Hannah Bata reporting after her career with NASA, Funk was the first female inspector for the FAA as well as the NTSB. Well, tomorrow is your day to score a Slurpee. It's 7-Eleven Day, July 11th, get it? The slushy treat is turning 60. 7-Eleven throwing a big party. They are continuing the tradition of offering a free small Slurpee at participating stores with a new flavor, Mountain Dew Confetti Chill, said to be inspired by lemon birthday cake. And because Slurpees are all about the love, they are also hosting special Slurpee dates. Couples can cozy up on a special bench, complete with special bedazzled straws and picks. Closest spot for that around here is Seaside Park on the Jersey Shore, but the special for a free Slurpee is at participating stores everywhere.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
There's no better time than now to upgrade your home. With our summer savings event, save up to 40% off when you install with Windorama. Choose from top brands like Andersen Windows and Doors and Master Shield Gutter Guards. Book your free in-home consultation. Shop from home and let our local certified experts handle it all. A stress-free process from measurement to installation. And when you shop in-stock inventory, we'll install in just 14 days. Visit Windorama.com and book now.
The updates you need the moment you need them. 1010 Wins is always on.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 76 degrees at 8:20 on Friday, July 10th. I'm Kathleen Marple-Calvin. Here's what's happening. A story we've been following on 1010 Wins takes a major turn. The man accused of firebombing two Queens churches now faces federal charges in more incidents. Police want your help finding a suspect in the rape of a 15-year-old boy outside a home in Queens. Disturbing new details on a flight instructor's death in Argentina. There's a report that he turned over controls to his student.
Then he unbuckled his seatbelt, opened the door, and jumped out of the plane.
She managed to land safely. Check the medicine cabinet. Major recall of eye drops today. That wedding at MSG really didn't come cheap. There are some new numbers on Taylor Swift's wedding and some new insight on when we might see the gown. Yanks and Mets win. France advances to the World Cup semis. 10-10 Wins AccuWeather. Sunny, warm, humid, chance of showers and storm, possibly heavy this afternoon. The high, 87. Winds use time 8:21. Let's get you where you need to go. Here is Karen Stewart.
Well, if you haven't heard the good news yet, Route 23 is open in Jersey. It is. The southbound 23 ramp to eastbound 80 and Wayne open. Accident investigation done. But we still have Newark and southbound 21 to worry about. Southbound 21 at 280, as a matter of fact. We have a crash there. All lanes are subject to closure. Yes, it is backed up a little bit. Broadway is your alternate. Hey, it's Friday. Things aren't as busy as they usually are, as you know. Hey, good news on Long Island as we check what we see on Long Island's Big Three. The westbound Northern State Parkway crash at Minetto Hill Road is gone. And we look good on the LIE, and we look great on Southern State. That accident at the inbound George upper level under the apartments is still there, 25-minute wait, but it's 15 for the lower. It's 15 for the Lincoln, and 20 to 25-minute delays to the inbound Holland from both the Pulaski Skyway and the Newark Bay Extension. And in Queens, the southbound Whitestone Expressway still delayed at College Point Boulevard. There's a crash there. We've got one lane block. We're sponsored by River Spring Living. Karen Stewart at 92.3 FM.
Hello, it's Scott Shannon inviting you to check out my True Oldies channel playing the greatest hits of the 60s and 70s. Download the free Odyssey app, search Scott Shannon, and lock it in.
Powered by River Spring Living.
A major update on a story we've been telling you about here on 1010 Wins. A man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails into two Queens churches now faces federal charges in more incidents.
This pastor says his church doesn't have any enemies.
So I don't know where this is coming from.
His name, Alex Garcia. He leads Iglesias Bautista El Mesias, the first church targeted Wednesday night.
The fire started on the floor. Fortunately, the doors are met.
And killed a woman named Heather Heyer. The optics of that were very bad for the white nationalist movement. And so one of Vanguard America's leaders, Thomas Rousseau, took that lesson when he went on to establish Patriot Front just weeks later.
Like you're giving me the genealogy of this group.
Once again, it's on. I had no sympathy for those afraid of this.
Está pegando para abajo.
En un carro de allá.
Ajá, ¿y qué pasó? Ojalá un carro y
So we really want to revive the history of socialism in the United States, where all the major social and economic gains for ordinary people of the past century, things like civil rights, environmental gains, the gains of the New Deal, all of these things were attacked as communist at the time, but they also were won with organized workers, with socialists in the past. Somebody like Martin Luther King Jr., who's now revered as a religious and civil rights leader, was a democratic socialist himself. He was very concerned about economic rights for everybody. We want to revive the history of the sewer socialists in Milwaukee, who were elected to govern municipally for decades because they expanded the quality of life for so many people and created things like Social Security, which are now taken for granted. So these are all things that were possible because of the history of socialism in the United States, and that's a history we're proud of. And that's why we're now very proud to have just passed the historic peak membership of the Socialist Party in 1912, which we actually just hit on the 4th of July a few weeks ago, on America's 250th anniversary. So there's a reason I think Trump is scared by this, but so much fear-mongering against socialism and communism for decades is really falling flat at this point when we're in such an unequal society and people want a better vision of the world.
I'd like to bring in Alexander Rojas, Executive Director of Justice Democrats, into the conversation. Alexander, welcome to Democracy Now! Could you talk to us about Justice Democrats, how you differ, let's say, from DSA in your political organizing and your election work?
Well, where I'll start is where we align, which is we are ruthlessly focused on building power for working people. At Justice Democrats, we are a federal